Hey everyone, Subrina Dhammi here with your 13 Now update. And you can see we have a full crew here ready to go. Kumi Tucker, Stella Porter, Chief Meteorologist Paul Caiano. And we're going to get updates from everyone shortly. But in the meantime, wanted to first talk with Paul and get the latest on the storm from him, find out where we stand with everything right now, Paul. And right here outside our studio in Manans, we have a rain snow mix, and that wind that you were talking about that was going to turn into an issue. Certainly starting to feel it now.
Yeah, and the valleys are the last to see it. So this must have been going on in the hill towns for longer, Sabrina. Catching a break a bit in the valleys because the temperature is 34, 35. So you get a pass from the plows and some salt like behind you, and the roads are just wet. And this is going on outside also. You see the shot up here at the Spooey on the Northway. Traffic's moving along okay. It's the hill towns that really got clobbered with 1 to 2 feet of snow already, and it continues to come down. Even in the valleys, a lot of places 6 to 12 inches of snow so far, and you can see the snow continues to fly here in Latham at the Spooey and across the region. But I think when it's all said and done, this storm is going to be more about your elevation than anything else. Now, we've lost power in a lot of places starting this morning and overnight, but you can see how the power outages ramped up 8, 9, 10 o'clock with the heavy weight of that snow that was coming down in full force at those hours. Then as the snow lightened up a bit, we sort of leveled off the power outages between 80 and 95,000 over the last few hours. So that's certainly substantial. And I think more folks are going to start to get their power on. But as that's happening, Sabrina mentioned the wind, and you can see the wind gust speeds. This is in the valley between 30 and 40 miles an hour right on into the evening and overnight hours tonight. So that will probably turn things around in the other direction and cause some more power outages, especially when you consider the heavy weight of the snow on the tree limbs in spots already. Then you start blowing those around and it causes more problems. So while we might catch a break in spots because the snow has let up just a bit, certainly that wind is going to go take us in the other direction. You can see temperatures close to freezing, a couple degrees above in a lot of places. Here's the first warning live Doppler radar. The darker the blue color, the steadier the snow. So certainly patches of steady, at times heavy snow going on. And look at the storm winding up over Cape Cod, right over the elbow right now. And that's a perfect spot for the capital region to get clobbered with a bunch of heavy snow. And we did just that. And we'll see the snow persist right through the afternoon, perhaps not with the intensity that we saw so far today, but still some light and steady snow will last right through the afternoon and evening. So whatever you have on the ground, probably 2, 3, 4 more inches of snow, not out of the question. And you can see on the hour-by-hour forecast, the snow really continues right on till about sunset. Then you see more breaks into the evening and overnight hours as the snow showers become more intermittent and drier air works its way in as the storm slides to the east of Cape Cod and finally out of the region tomorrow. So what we had forecast looks like it's coming true here, 8 to 14 inches in the immediate capital district and North Country. But those hill towns, boy, I'll tell you, 12 to 20 already, might even be getting more in spots. Those 15 to 25s have already happened in a lot of places. I think we'll wind up in Schoharie County, in the Helderbergs of Albany County, Greene County, and parts of the Berkshires in southern Vermont with the several reports of 30-inch snow totals, if not even a little bit better. So snow will persist through the afternoon, some heavier bursts, mid-30s, becoming windy. We've already seen that increase, and it will persist right on into the evening and overnight tonight. The snow, though, will tend to wind down and become more intermittent, and the 7-day forecast will show milder temperatures, Sabrina, starting Thursday and into Friday with mid-40s. Will melt off a bunch of this snow, some rain showers into the beginning of the weekend.
You talked about those power outages, Paul, and those numbers, about 80,000 overall in our entire coverage area right now. And then that wind picking up, only going to potentially make things worse.
Yeah, it looks that way. We may see one of those things where you trade off folks getting the power back with other folks losing it because of the wind. So I wouldn't be surprised if that number kind of remained in that ballpark for a good chunk of the afternoon.
All right, Paul, thank you so much. We, of course, will get more updates from you throughout the afternoon and 4 o'clock on News Channel 13, live at 4.
We'll see you then.
Thank you. One area where we are seeing the highest number of power outages at last check right before we came on, it was about 14,000 out in Rensselaer County, and Kumi Tucker has been there since this morning. So let's bring Kumi into this conversation. Kumi, you also were in North Greenbush earlier where some power lines came down.
That's right. Right now we're in downtown Troy, Sabrina. We're on Congress Street. We wanted to check to see some of the streets here in the city of Troy. So we've been driving around. You can see there's blacktop. The cars seem to be driving really well. It's just on the side where some of the cars have been trying to get out of their parking spaces. We've seen them spinning their wheels. In some spots, it's still slippery. We've seen a lot of plows come through here. But earlier, just about an hour earlier, we were over in North Greenbush, and the conditions there are much different. Over on Winter Street Extension, we saw two large hazards areas. One specifically by North Road. We had a tree, a big tree had come down. It was bringing down some power lines, and there were some very low-hanging wires going across the road. They had put some hazard tape on it so that drivers could see that. And there was another part where a tree had come down. Some limbs were hanging down in the road. But while we were there, we did see a trees crew come by to cut up that and clear that part of the road. So that section of Winter Street Extension is now open again. And of course, while we were standing there to do our live shots today, we saw the chief of the North Greenbush Police Department drive by. He's actually doing some plowing too. He said this is very heavy, wet snow. And he said it's really difficult to move because it's so heavy, but they're doing their best. He's asking people just to stay home until they can get some of those trees out of the roads and clear the way for drivers to get through.
Okay, Kumi, thank you so much for that update live from downtown Troy right now. We'll talk to you later on.
All right.
So let's also talk with Stella Porter. She's been up in the North Country in the Saratoga County region, checking things out over there. So Stella, what's the latest where you are? And Stella, just unmute yourself for
there
us.
we go.
There we go. We can hear you now.
I am in the parking lot of one of the only places in town, really, in Saratoga Springs that is open right now. We've noticed that a lot of stores are shut down. The court is shut down today. City Hall is shut down. So not a ton going on downtown. And we rode along with the Saratoga Springs Police Department. They said that's a good thing because typically on a day like today, they see plenty of people out on the roads. Mostly motor vehicle accidents. Those are the big things that they worry about on a day like today. And people driving with the trees being super heavy. They showed us over by Saratoga Spa State Park where they've actually shut down part of the road because they worry about people driving or walking through there and having a tree fall down because those trees are just so weighed down right now. So those are their main concerns going into this evening. But they say it's been relatively quiet up here in the meantime today. And we really haven't seen that many people out. Let me see if I can show you. If I can flip the camera. Okay.
There we go. We got a plow right behind us right now. So.
Oh, there you go.
Glad to hear that. We had a plow just go by, so probably pretty loud behind us. But we're here outside the studio in Manans. The cleanup still continues here as well. Stella, thank you for that update. Glad things are quieting down a little bit over there, and we'll see you live at 4 as well. So Stella was talking about things being closed. Crossgates Mall is closed. Colony Center is closed. We have flights across the board canceled. We have 27 flights canceled. There's a quick snap. You do have people maybe traveling. You probably have already been in touch with them, but just a heads up on that. And little video to show you from around the region. We talked about the wires down in the North Greenbush area that Kumi was talking about. So here's some video of that. This is Wilton, a snowy scene from there this morning. And we have one more shot from Wine and Skill. So lots of great pictures coming in from all of you watching, sending us pictures from around the region. So keep those coming. We're posting all of those on our website, wnyt.com. And this is kind of neat because this shows Slingerlands yesterday, 5:30 evening, before the snow really came in, and 10:30 this morning, the same exact route, same exact drive. So just a look at how quickly things have changed. So again, the storm is not done. As you probably can see if you step outside, there is still precipitation. It's a little wet. There's rain/snow in some spots, but that wind is really going to be the factor. So our weather team is tracking that. We will have the latest on air starting News Channel 13 live at 4. Of course, we'll continue to update you on social media as well. I'm Subrina Dhammi with your 13 Now update on this Tuesday afternoon with the nor'easter.